Rita Dolores Sovich Hirsch.
All right.
Mine, I guess I got to remember it.
Your full name?
Joseph Andrew Hirsch.
All right. When were you born? And where?
Cleveland, Ohio, July 21st.
All
I'm
right.
trying to do the math.
An idea.
What year? I'm 21.
21.
Me too. I'm 21, but I'm at 5/13/37.
37. Okay.
Yep.
What city
Downtown
were you
Cleveland,
born
I
in?
guess.
Downtown Cleveland?
I guess.
Do you remember the hospitals?
Well, might not have been in no hospital. I don't know.
In a barn?
Barn.
Oh, do you remember?
I was born at home.
At home?
hmm
Oh, but
You
that
were?
might have been too then.
I don't know that. My brother Tom was born at home too.
How about me? Do you have any idea what about me?
I don't know.
What
Well,
are
check your birth certificate. It
What are
probably
your
says.
brothers and just brothers' names?
My brother?
Yeah, what are their names?
Edward George Sovich.
And Tom.
He's 11 years older than me. My younger brother Tom, Thomas Stephen Sovich, was born in 1947.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
Dan-
he's how many years younger than you?
9.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Is he your younger brother or your older brother, Ray?
I only got one brother,
Is he older than you or younger?
younger, 5 years.
5 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
What are your parents' full names?
Stephen, I'm not sure about his middle name now. I have to check with Brother Ed. I can't remember. Stephen Sovich, and my mom was Martha Schingler Sovich.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? How about you, Dan?
Mildred, I don't know what the,
What's your
Schmitz, wasn't it?
huh?
Schmitz?
Mitz? Yeah,
Hirsch.
but what was it between it?
middle name?
Mildred
Never mind.
Marie? Maybe Mildred Marie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Right.
sure.
There you go.
But you don't bump that camera
Oh, all right.
because it'll show up on the.
And your dad's name?
Full gas?
Your dad's name.
Mm, same as mine. Joseph.
Andrew too?
No, I don't know. What is it?
Lewis.
Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Lewis?
I guess so. My wife says so. I don't remember.
What high school did you go to? Or what are some of the schools you went to? Your favorite school?
Went to Nathaniel Hawthorne for kindergarten. I went to St. Vincent de Paul through the 8th grade. Went to John Marshall for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Dad? Do you remember your grade schools?
Mm-hmm.
St. Mary's.
Mm-mm.
No, what are you talking about?
What grade school did you go to?
What grade?
Grade school.
What school?
Remember?
Mhm.
How about high school?
The high school is 3 years. But
What school? What was the name? Wasn't it West Tech?
it sure is. How did you know?
I don't remember.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
It'd be better if I'm.
No.
Oh,
Okay. We're good.
were you in West Tech too?
No, I went to Brita.
No.
All right.
Rhea went to.
Did you enjoy school?
Sure.
Sure. How about you? Did you enjoy school?
Yeah,
Or
I had
did
to
you
go
like-
an extra.
Did you enjoy not being in school?
No, I had to go an extra half year. One,
Yeah, if you-
one. What do you call it?
Semester.
One fiesta. One.
Uh,
Not fiesta. One part of it.
how about the
An
summer?
hour and a half, and I can leave.
How about the summers? What'd you do in the summers when you were growing up?
Go fishing.
Fishing?
Lake Erie. About 121st and around. That's on the big lake. We'd go there and fish.
Is there a pier there? Or is it just off?
What's
Was there
that?
a pier?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here,
You
right
went to
there.
that Lakewood Park, I think.
Yeah, Lakewood Park. We'd go with one of the friends from school. What's his name? Paul?
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Yeah. Can't
Um,
remember his last name. All I know is
How about you, Mom?
he
What'd you do
went
in
to
the summer
service.
when you were a kid?
I don't remember anything particular we did in the summer. Oh, yes, Joe. My dad worked at General Electric, and we used to go to Barnesboro, Pennsylvania to visit my mother's relatives 1 year, and then the following year we'd go to Gary, Indiana to visit my mom's other relatives.
How about jobs when you were a teenager? Anything you remember?
What did I do when younger, huh?
Didn't you cut potatoes somewhere? I remember you
No, I
telling
don't
me.
remember that. I didn't mind
Oh
it.
yeah.
Cut
You worked at that drive-in on 117th. Diney's.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Diney's.
Diney's. There was 3 guys and 20 women.
That'd have been a fun summer.
Yeah. And in fact, I had my own building. It was a aluminum, what do you call it, round one?
Shed.
Big
I
big
think it was
garbage
called the
can.
Quonset
That
hut.
one of my Saturday deal was garbage cans, and they were muffing like that many in an area like this. I had to take care of my garbage cans. And then I had kind of fun was I had to do my potatoes. If I take a potato this big, but I didn't want to mucky around skinning it down or anything, I leave it in too much, and that big one about this big. So that was my doing that way. And then I used to have a big slob of butter, not slob, but a piece. Then I had to cut it all up and put it in the machine like. That was good. And then there was a woman in there with me, and she done what do you call it, the round thing you eat, meat, hamburgers. She do the hamburgers. We had a hamburger fight. But the other one was kind of neat. My job was to clean up the potatoes, clean them. But then I didn't like doing it by hand, so I put it in. I had a big machine it was about this big, that high. Then it had a big, like a stone type thing, and you put your potatoes in there, and you go, and that cleans them. But if you got to put them in there little longer than you should, then you don't have to do all this work on them.
So you get 5 pounds of potatoes out of a 10-pound bag.
Yeah.
So, what did you do with the money from your jobs? What'd you spend it on when you were kids? Cars,
Probably buying your car.
beer.
Beer, probably.
What was your first car?
That was actually on my list. Your first car, your favorite car?
I'm trying to think of what my first car was.
How
How come I don't have it yet? Any ideas?
I don't know if you had a car before that, but when I knew you had that, 54 Ford? I don't remember what year. Ford.
There was an old Oldsmobile, 98, I think.
Oh, that's the one we had when we were married.
Was that your
He
favorite
bought
car?
that before we got married, so it would have been.
What was that? What kind of car was it?
I think it was a 54 Oldsmobile.
It could be.
Turquoise and white convertible.
How can I remember them? I have a hard time there.
How many green trucks have you had?
I mean, what?
Green trucks have you had?
Green trucks? I like green trucks, I guess.
Yep.
Never thought of that, yeah.
3 maybe?
Maybe 3, not too many. I kept the same cars like I got now. It's brand new at 03. It's 06 when I got it, the Cadillac. And I've had that now 10 years or more. That's neat. You know what I'm talking about, Cadillac?
Yep.
That's a neat vehicle.
How about you, man? What's your first job?
I babysat an awful lot, and then when I was in high school, I had a babysitting job for 3 kids whose parents worked, so I went right from high school over to their house. I don't remember how many years I did that. I invited them to my wedding, but they never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Good lead-in. The next question is...
I was reading the script.
You're reading the script. When did you get married?
I'm 5'13", 37.
No, that's your birthday. When did you get
When did you get
married?
married?
Oh, I don't know, 60, 61. Between 60, 61, 62, that's
Yes.
when I got it.
In the Army, not the married.
Well, where was I married? About the same?
We got married
I
April
was-
30th, 1960, and you got drafted September of 60.
Which
Do you-
was good.
Do you
That was
remember your first date?
first day.
Oh, I don't even know if I want to go into this.
Yeah, I do.
I was working in American Greetings, and one of the guys lived, I think it was 126th Street, and a friend of mine used to ride back and forth to work with him, so I started riding with him. And he wanted to introduce me to his friend, Joe. And I thought he said Harsa. And Joe Harsa was somebody I knew from St. Vincent de Paul, and I figured, hot dog, I'm meeting Joe Harsa. He
wasn't
said, I
it?
met Joe Harsa.
I remember that now. And where'd you go? Or what'd you do?
Do you remember where you went on your first date, Dad?
Mm-mm.
I remember
We used to go downtown to the movies a lot.
Yeah,
Where'd you go on most of your dates, or what was it? What's a date that you remember?
me going. She had it when she lived in the house with her parents. They were double wall, double.
Duplex?
And then they got one above that yet.
Okay.
Okay, kind of follow me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got boom and
It's a two-story with an attic, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Two-family,
that's
yeah.
where she was in the attic. Well, I crawled up the downstairs and top stairs and all the way up and got in the window that way. Right?
Mm-hmm. And what did you get for coming up there?
Hostile.
You got your ring back.
That's what I mean. You were hostile.
Some things never change, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, supposedly we got engaged to get married, and he figured he got engaged so that I wouldn't leave to become an airline stewardess, and that was my goal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't. Well,
How long of a period of time was it?
What, that we were engaged?
Yeah.
There again, it was getting to be a long time as far as I'm concerned. I think it was a little bit more than a year. We got engaged on my 21st birthday, and we got married April.
23rd.
21st birthday. I
Well,
thought.
I was 23rd when
Okay.
I got married.
Okay,
was
by the time we
23.
got married, I'm talking about when we got engaged.
Oh, and engaged and all that.
You got engaged on your birthday?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Weren't you there?
Yeah.
Weren't I there? I wasn't there. Somebody else was there, I guess.
All right. This doesn't have to be childhood or whatever. What, happiest moment together you remember? It doesn't even have happiest.
A happy moment.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be the happiest.
Me, when I went up to see that down her house, her parents was down below. Then there was another somebody. Anyway, she was up high, and I had to go all the way up. Double.
It's a romantic period.
Remote period. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
How about you, Mom? Happiest dating relationship.
Well,
Marriage.
fun was time. We were kind of going out, but not officially going steady or anything. So I got a date with another guy, and he wound up taking somebody else out. I went to the same movie.
You went on a double date with that with different.
I
Wasn't
don't
really a
remember
double
that.
date. Oh, I do. We were downtown in one of the theaters, and you walked down the aisle with somebody else, and I was in there with somebody else.
Well, how come you never told me about this? Tell me some more.
That was fun.
Oh well.
Who was your best man, maid of honor, or some other people in your wedding? You don't have to tell all of them.
Well, I had a lot of cousins as bridesmaids. My maid of honor was my cousin Claudia Schindler from Gary, Indiana. I think my cousin Ruthie Sovich was a bridesmaid.
How about
I think
that?
Kathy Sovich,
On
or
Dad's side.
Kathy Hirsch rather.
Not too many. Just my brother.
Your brother
that's
was the best man.
all. Yeah.
And your cousin, I think Louis
Ed.
and Ed.
Ed and
I don't remember who
God,
else.
the one that was on 60 or whatever it is.
I'll have to look at the picture of them.
On the
Okay.
east side
Do you
there.
remember anything about the wedding day? As far as what was it raining? Was it a sunny day? Was there anything
No, I think the
unusual
weather
that
was
happened,
good.
or you forgot to do, or
Yes, forgot to do. Joe got me a big tape player, and I wanted to tape the audio of our wedding, and they forgot to bring the tape player up for the wedding, so there was no recording of it.
Hmm.
and then where'd you go on your honeymoon?
Where I like to go, Florida. And it was warm and hot, and I remember that I think we could find the logs or something that we don't sit on or something, and pictures.
Oh, yeah, we went to, I think it was Silver Springs. Silver Springs is kind of in Florida. It was a boat trip, and they had palm trees, and there was one that was all swagged, and he was sitting on the palm tree.
Is that on the Gulf or on the Atlantic?
I think it's inland, north, kind of.
I can't get more to it.
Have you guys been back there?
We stopped there, I don't know,
Where's that?
Silver Springs, probably 5 years ago or so.
Yeah. We go Crystal River about 10 years, I guess.
What was What was your favorite vacation? This is
That's hard.
Yeah.
our favorite vacation.
Probably Florida.
Going to Florida.
We did a lot of cruises with,
Oh, that's
Friends.
right. We did go for cruises. We had a group every 2 years. We went for 10 years. Every 2 years, we get together with the 10 couples.
and we were on one cruise, a 7-day cruise, and we decided that Jack and Brian might enjoy it. We came home, and a couple of weeks later, we took off, and I think it was a 4-day cruise with Jack and Brian. Remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whoop. Is that going to come about it? You're pretty good.
Tell us a little bit about the military service.
It was, I cheated, I guess.
Did you get drafted, or were you?
No, I got at
or did you enlist?
23, you automatically get drafted and you have to go in for 2 years.
Not exactly.
Without
Because we
kids.
kept postponing our wedding, figuring you were going to get drafted, and finally we set up the wedding, and sure enough, we got married in April, and you got drafted in September.
Hmm. But then again, you worked down in North Carolina. What's it
Mhm.
called? Come on,
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg. It was kind of neat. We lived right outside of there in a house. Well, we had one house, and then we moved to another house, and it was kind of neat.
What was your job for the Army?
You told me you used to drive. You told me you used to drive a truck, didn't you?
Yeah, drive a truck.
Service truck.
Engineering. Did
Oh,
you
that's right, in and there.
Did you do a lot? Learn a lot of your mechanical
Yeah,
stuff.
but I think I steal some stuff too.
This is your look at the camera.
Erase that.
Look at the camera and say I'm sorry for stealing stuff from the military.
Gasoline. I took one of the big tanks, with the big tanker
Yeah.
off the base.
You stole the tanker.
Well, then we
Today you'd
filled
be
up the
considered a
cars.
terrorist if you did that.
We did.
What'd you do with the tanker?
Stole the air, the
The gas.
fuel.
Put it in your vehicles?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I remember doing that.
So you feel guilty about it.
Yeah. Once you come back to
That's
some,
Uncle Sam forgives you.
right.
Put your time in.
The Army was really good because we really didn't. There was nothing going on. It was a gap of the government and everything that
No wars.
nobody was warring. And
What-
there
what
was
was-
one after, one before. We hit it right between. So
Yeah.
What was your life like when Mary Jo was born?
Oh. Down in North Carolina, no mothers, nobody to ask questions of, no pediatrician. Whatever I did was right.
you were in the Army.
You were in the Army. You were in the.
Yes.
I was in the Army,
Was
drafted
mom,
2 years.
Mom was there with you.
Yeah.
And
He come down to North Carolina,
You're so lucky.
where'd you stay?
off
Yeah.
road,
Off the.
right off the, in a house. But we had the three of us. It was kind of neat. It was a big house with 3
Apartments.
apartments on it.
How
And
many,
we had a little business too going. There was a truck that was upside down or whatever, up high, and then we had a little job going for people that need their car fixed and stuff. That was good, right? I think so. A little bit of it anyway.
So when did you move? The 3 of you moved back to Ohio. How old was Mary Jo? How many years? Just a couple.
2 years.
7 months.
Okay, so
7
you were only
months,
down
that's
north there for a little bit.
She was born in March, and we moved home in September.
Where did you move to when you moved back?
Mhm.
We rented a house off of West 130th called Wainfleet. Lived there for a year, and then we bought the house on Karen Drive
And Sue was
Wh-
born.
right before we moved out of that house on Wainfleet.
But that was a big joke. I couldn't wait. You had to be sergeant. And when you were sergeant, you could come and go as you please. And that's what we did in the beer joint. We had to go, once a month or
Had to be in the reserves for 2 years. after
2
you got
years?
out.
And that was what, once a month? Yeah, once a month.
I don't know if it was once a week that you.
It was a lot.
I think it was once a week you had a
Once a
reserve
week we
meeting.
had to go, but we went not with the guys and stuff because we got our rate. Then we go into the beer joint. And that was,
You got away with murder.
well, I'm just honest, giving up.
I know.
That's pretty conniving.
You started working with golf around then, right? About that time?
No, golf.
Oil?
Williams, what's Williams? Williams?
George P. Williams is where he worked before he went in the Army. When he got out of the Army, they had to take him back for 6
For
months.
6 weeks. 6
6
months.
months, I think, and after the time was up, he got laid off. So there we were. Let's say we hadn't moved yet. We were still in that rented house, and you didn't have a job.
There
I
were
went
cash
back to
and all the
American
money.
Greetings.
No money, no nothing.
And I worked nights at American Greetings doing the same job I did during the day when I worked there.
Mhm.
And Dad stayed home with 2 babies.
Mhm.
See, he did it.
Made it work. Mhm.
What is your proudest moment of Mary Jo?
Graduation from college.
College? Maybe that's it.
How about
Yeah.
your proudest moment of Sue?
Having twins.
Sorry,
I
Kyle.
remember being over at Rogerson's. I think they invited us over, and your mom and dad, we were out in the yard, and they both announced, that she was having babies. I'm going to get emotional again. And I started crying, and your dad said, "Aren't you happy?"
Don't go crying now.
I was
All right,
happy.
we'll stay in time period. So Sue.
Was between Wayne Fleet and Karen,
Okay.
right?
So
Right, we
in-
lived at
you
Karen.
in Karen. Who were your neighbors on Karen?
Carmen, Carol, Destro, Jerry, and Ronnie Victor, and a couple other people, but those are the ones.
Did you know the Destros before then, or is that how you?
No, we moved in next door to them. We were neighbors for 13 years, and we both moved out of Karen Drive about the same time. We both bought houses, both moved, and then after they moved, we got to be really good friends. There was something about that fence there that kind of kept us apart, but once the fence was gone, we got to be really good friends.
Okay, moving on to Jack. Jack was born in October 1972.
Hmm.
Where were you guys living? Where was your life at that period of time?
We were at Karen Drive, and we were moving into the house on Lewis Road, which I absolutely hated. We lived there a year and a half, and finally I said, "I'm moving. Are you coming with me?"
Where's that on Lewis?
Hmm.
Didn't like it.
I know.
Did you like Lewis, the house on Lewis?
Had a year, not a year, what's when you got a lot of area?
Acres?
What's an area?
Acreage?
Acres, yeah. We had quite a bit of, you could put your cars in it. That 3 or 4 cars can go in the sheds and stuff. It was neat. It
So
was
that-
a big place, huh?
In 1972, where were you working? Were you already with golf at that point, or were you?
Yes, we were working at golf. We started in 1970 in golf, and we were still at Karen Drive, and then Jack was born in '72. So when we moved to Lewis, he was already working for golf.
And Mom was an Avon rep though when we were at Karen.
Right. I don't remember how many years I sold Avon. Quite a few.
Quite, that
I was 18 when I started. I was too young to have my own account, so I had it in my mother's name.
Hmm. Well, you went around and did
Mhm.
the what do you call it?
Forgot about
The
that.
housing. Let's put it that way.
All right. What was your proudest moment or memory of Jack?
Dual answer. When Jack and Brian opened the gas station at First in Eastland.
First in Eastland.
Yeah.
That one? That one? Not Bagley?
Well, your first one was
first
Eastland.
Bagley, yeah.
Okay.
Not Bagley, yeah.
And that was kind of a special moment for both of you because he was, what, 21? You were 18?
I think I was 20. He was 23.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 4 years later, 1976, I'm born. Where you had just moved into West Lawn, I believe.
As a matter of fact, I had just gotten home from the hospital after you were born. I happened to look at the Sun News, and there was an ad for a 4-bedroom house on West Lawn, wooded lot. And it was for sale by owner. Went over and looked at it, and I knew I had to be there. So we bought that house right after you were born. And we're still there.
And we cheated on it a little too, because he had it for sale with a bunch of people and all that. We told him we wanted, but we didn't want all this, the cost more. What was it?
The realtor?
Yeah, so
You're not quite telling it right. They wanted to list with a realtor, and we had them listed as an exception that we had already seen it. So if we
Oh.
bought it, then we didn't know any commission. So
Okay.
that's what you meant, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Remember how much we paid for it? I think it was 55.
What?
55,000.
Could be.
Pretty sure.
Mhm.
Bodie,
Um,
or were you-
what's your favorite part of the house? What's your favorite part about your house?
Which
I
one?
like the whole house. I like the
Which one, Rhea?
fireplace. I like the ceiling cable.
Heat. The heat.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you talking? The one we got now?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about it?
No basement, but we have the garage
Yeah,
for
good
a
back.
workshop.
Yeah, I guess. But everything's backed up now. There's too much stuff. all
Yeah,
over.
how'd that happen?
Yeah.
Who is at fault for the collection of stuff? That you have too much stuff. Whose fault is it?
Who was going to flea markets buying stuff they didn't need, especially those cars that were in those blue crates that got brought over today?
See how great they are? I got next 2 years yet. I got 2 more to go yet. This one here's there.
It's dual problem. I think you've got
Who's
a
got 'em?
saver and a
Yeah, I
collector.
guess
We've got
Jack's
two
'em. I got-
collectors.
And
Glasses.
Savers.
And
I don't know where I
savers.
bought them. I think I remember it was about $40. All I know.
More than that.
What year did you buy
More than-
Catawba? Island View.
I think it was 1982.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We bought Catawba without ever seeing it. We'd been familiar with the area, and Bob Givens knew somebody that had a deposit on the.
He had 2, and we ended up we bought 2, but we give one to Rita's brother, Ed.
Not Dave sold.
We should have, but we had no idea that he was going to turn. The first thing he did is go ahead and rent the damn place. If we were going to do that, I never sold it to him for 10,000 or 5,000, whatever. It was a small amount of money, and it'd have been good for the rental.
I can't remember how much we paid.
Yeah,
Was it
it
10?
made me
I thought it
mad.
was 10.
Why he turned around? I thought he's got 6 freaking kids, and he wouldn't let them use it. I guess. Sorry
Well,
about that.
What was your happiest moment at Catawba? Or any fun memories at Catawba that you remember? Or with your boating?
One of my fun memories of Catawba was seeing you swimming out in the off the beach like a dolphin, up and down and up and down. I miss that.
Who's that?
Him.
How about when you pants Jack?
Pants Jack. I don't
was
remember.
you, wasn't it?
No, you did it.
I did it, but I thought it was you.
No, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it was you.
I did it, but I thought you were the one I did it to. You
No,
think I did it
no,
to
I
Jack?
didn't get no.
I
Jack,
did-
I'm 100% sure I did not get pants.
Why'd you take your hands off him?
I don't know.
Just to be mean, just to be funny or mean.
What's a good memory you've had of Catawba up there, Dad?
Any fishing trips or anything
No,
like
my
that?
Hershey bar. I like my boat.
Is that your favorite boat?
Oh yeah, still got it. I don't know what it is now, where it's at or where.
It's
That's
there.
it.
I guess it's at the one place. I guess
What year was that boat?
78
What kind of boat is it?
Marionette,
How big is it?
32 foot.
Where'd you get it from?
Bought it brand new.
Yeah. New
Can't
York,
think
right?
of the name of the place. It was in Chautauqua, New York.
Oh,
Did you
that's
guys haul
right.
it back? Did you haul it back, or did someone?
No, they
haul it?
delivered it to.
delivered
They
it.
brought it from.
Up in the far. It was far away on in the lake, but. Remember, it come back
think it
into
came
Ohio.
into-
It come back into Ohio, but it was far. It was pretty far away from us. Remember when we got it back?
It came into Ashtabula. I think we picked it up in Ashtabula and brought it
Okay,
into Rocky
whatever.
River. But I don't remember how it got to Ashtabula.
Where's the farthest you ever took it, or the longest you ever took it?
Good question.
We went on those boat trips up
St.
to
Clair.
Lake St. Clair, I guess it was.
Where?
Lake St. Clair.
Could be. Well, with the group we were going. That was good with the group every 2 years.
No, not with the
No, that was the big boats.
right. 2 years was the cruises.
Mm-hmm.
A religious. What religion are you?
Roman Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
This is my question. What is your image of heaven?
I guess
Something
I
I
really
like to
don't
be
have,
at.
don't really have an image of heaven.
No, you do. You just
What's your image, Dad?
Every now and then, of course, I just hope I'd be able to go there.
What do you think it looks like? Or what do you think it is?
Mm, somewhere good, anyway. Let's put it that way.
A
Huh?
big boat with a Heineken.
That's right.
Now, what was the polka song you used to listen to about heaven?
Oh,
Oh,
What was it?
in heaven there is no beer. That's why we drink it here.
no. USA, hit him in the
No.
head with a kabasa.
What was it like living 2 doors down from your grandchildren and your son-in-law and Mary Jo?
Really nice. It was really nice when all my kids lived within walking distance, but a few of them moved.
Mm-hmm.
I can still get to Mary Jo's easy. I
Can
can
you-
get to Sue's easy.
Can you walk to Sue's now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could if you had to.
Could you?
Yes, I could. You want to see me?
Yeah, he said, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably
How
could make it.
about your grandchildren? Anything you want to mention about your grandchildren?
They're all super specialists. So.
Grandpa, do you remember when you and I won the contest to go to the salmon hatchery?
Oh,
and we went
yeah.
fishing.
You signed up for that fishing thing.
The lottery.
What was it? Rainbow trout?
Yeah, I think it was rainbow trout. We went fishing at the hatchery, and it was just a bunch of fish. We were all allowed to catch 2.
Okay, all right,
Remember
yep,
that?
okay. Yep,
That was-
we had to steal them like or something. We had to bootleg them or something. We done something there.
Do you remember when we went fishing with Grandma, and Grandma and Tyler and Kyle went to the bathroom, and you and I were sitting there with all those fishing poles, and then 2 of the fishing poles got pulled into the water? You don't remember that?
It was out in the lake
Yeah, no, it was.
at the dock.
It was at it wasn't on Lake Erie.
Oh,
I think it was somewhere.
oh, that was East Harbor State Park. We were
Yeah.
camping there.
closer. Yeah,
And that's
we were
right, I
using,
went-
like dough or something.
I went
that
to
we
the
made
bathroom
as
with
bait.
somebody, and I think, what'd you do? You ran around the lake or something with the rod in your hand?
I think because there were someone else's and mine both got a fish, I took them and ran away from the lake. They just,
Yeah,
like,
they were
pulled
on
them in.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was East Harbor State Park,
that was pretty neat.
Marblehead.
I can,
It was you and me were the only ones there, and there were like 4 fishing lines that had fish on them.
And I think you guys made the dough ball yourselves sitting
Yeah.
at a
We
picnic
sat
table.
At a picnic table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember taking Mark and Molly to Memphis Kitty Park?
Mm-hmm.
We were little.
Mm-hmm. I still have some coupons
where?
left if you want to go.
where's that?
Memphis
Zoo?
Kitty Park.
What?
Memphis Kitty Park. It's an amusement park on Memphis Road Avenue.
It's little kids. Look for little kids.
They had Ferris wheels and a train.
Remember, I was too afraid to get on the Ferris wheel until I was like 7.
I remember going to the IX Center for the indoor amusement park, and the Ferris wheel was going. You wouldn't go, and I made you go. You loved it.
Where is that?
The IX Indoor Amusement Park on by the airport.
Okay.
And do you have any nicknames?
Oh yeah,
Bullshit?
Monica and Melanie call me Bio. My nieces and nephews, Ed's kids all call me Honey.
How about you, Dad? Any nickname?
I already told you.
Okay, don't.
No.
Anything, Mom? Nickname? Anybody call you anything?
He calls me Dear. I don't know why. You know, usually a husband will wind up calling his wife Honey. He calls me Dear.
I do? Yeah, I call you dear.
Any memories of Disney?
Mm-hmm. I think I have a picture of you and Chris Destro on the beach at the campground eating an ice cream cone together.
Mm.
I'll have to find that picture. I'll give it to you when I find it.
Okay.
I was going to bring pictures over, and I'm sorry I didn't.
The last question is from Madeline. How do you see the world when she is your age in 2094?
2094. Hope it's peaceful. And all the things that I don't understand about computers, she will fully understand. Love you, Mom and Dad.
I love you, Mom and Dad.
I love you, Mom and Dad.
Love you, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Madeline.
I love you.